Hello guys, welcome to episode number 27 of, didn't mean to do that. Episode 27 of Professional Weapons in Advanced Warfare. This episode we are taking a look at the Tac-19 variants because all of these are unusual variants, but I think they're good variants. Some are good anyway. One is actually kind of not so good, but we're really taking a look at the Tac-19 variants, which are the marksman variant. Looks like the jab, and this is kind of unusual. Like there's one variant that's white and stays white, which is the roundhouse, and all the other ones are like tannish, yellowish. But I thought that the Haymaker and the jab looked similar because they have like a short barrel, whereas the roundhouse and the uppercut have like a longer barrel. So I decided that the roundhouse and uppercut look similar, and the jab and Haymaker look alike. But the Haymaker, roundhouse, and uppercut are the professional variants, and the jab is the marksman variant. Starting with the jab today. The jab, unfortunately, has one very bad thing going on for it. Actually, it's two very bad things, but we talk about one today. And that bad side is the fact that the range, the effective one-shot kill range is reduced by 15%. Don't get me wrong, this isn't as bad as the bang stick, but still you're less likely to get one-shot kills with a jab. So that -1 range is not a good start for the jab, isn't it? No, it's not. I still think that the bang stick is better than this variant, which we'll be talking about why in a sec. But we got to talk about one unusual buff that this one has going on for it, which is the same buff as the bang stick, because it's statistically identical to the bang stick with a few other minor changes, and that's the fact that the movement speed is actually increased by 2%. So the standard movement speed for any shotgun is 100%, and the jab is moved up to 102%. Here is the standard 100% for shotguns. And here's the 102% for the jab. It's kind of minor, but if you really think about it, it's actually a good thing to have increased movement speed on shotguns, because you wanna bum rush people. You want to get in their face as fast as possible, and doing that is only going to make the gun even better. So the movement speed is what that +1 mobility means. 2% faster movement speed, and if that wasn't a good thing, it also has a very minor sprint out time decreased from 150 milliseconds down to 135 milliseconds. It's a 10% change, and what that means is that the time that it takes for you to sprint to aim down sights is 10% faster. So, or fire or whatever, just to get your gun in action. This is the standard 150 milliseconds. And here is the standard, and here's the 135 milliseconds faster. Pair this with the movement speed increase that it has, and it's a very unique rushing shotgun, but I don't really think that this is a good variant. In fact, I think this is the worst variant of the gun, of the Tac-19, and that the bang stick is better because it also has a rate of fire increase, whereas this one does not. So the bang stick is the rushing shotgun when you want to use, and not so much this one, because there's one more penalty that we need to talk about. But and you see that increase is slightly faster. You do notice the change. I will tell you that you will notice the change. And one more bad thing is that the magazine is actually decreased from 6 rounds in the magazine to only 4. You'll see that if I reload, it only goes up to a maximum of 4, which is not good at all. So you basically shoot 4 times and then you have to reload. You can make up for this with extended mags. It'll bring it back up to the standard 6 that it has before. But overall, I really do not think that this variant is good. And it's the marksman variant, so you can't scrap it. But I really wouldn't recommend to use it, especially when the bang stick is a better variant to use overall. So just go for the bang stick if you have it. Next variant that we are not that one. No, we're doing the roundhouse next. The next variant what we're looking at is the uppercut. Now the uppercut is unique in some senses, but you know, it's fair. It's got some downsides, some good sides. So the uppercut has +1 damage. Now that +1 damage is going to mean that it has an extra pellet, Now here's the thing about the Tac-19. It's hard to see the pellets because it's like a pump air energy shotgun where you can't see the pellets. So it's very difficult to see like how the pellets are, like how to see the pellets. So I decided to go ahead and turn on paintball mode to see if you could see the pellets any better, and you'll see that it works just a little bit if you see the pellets. So here's the standard shotgun pellets for the Tac-19. It's still 8 pellets like the rest of the shotguns. So here you go. There's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that's standard 8 pellets. Whereas with the uppercut, you have even more pellets. You have an additional pellet, which is going to bring it up to 9 pellets overall. And here we go for this here, and you'll see that there are way more pellets here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I want to consider that an extra pellet. 8, 9. So that's proof right there that they're extra pellets. Even like the ones that don't feel yellowish enough, those are even like pellet areas. So overall, I think that's a pretty good. I think that an extra pellet that deals 50, 30, 10 is a good thing. So that increases your overall damage per second. So I think that's a good change. But if that wasn't enough, the Tac-19 uppercut naturally has a 10% tighter hipfire spread. That means you're able to go for more one-shot kills, because with the increased damage and a tighter pellet spread, that means that you'll get more one-shot kills. It's minor, but you gotta understand that decreasing the hipfire spread by any percent is obviously gonna make the gun better. And this gun has a 10% tighter hipfire spread, which means that hip firing is obviously way better. This gun does have 2 major downsides though. One's minor, but the other one's kind of major. The major downside is that it has -1 range, which means less effective one-shot kill area, but you do keep in mind that you do have a damage increase, which means that more pellets are more likely to get one-shot kills, but you'll move down to the lesser damage numbers faster, so that's obviously not a good thing. And the last thing is that the movement speed is decreased from 100% down to 98%. You probably won't notice this, but I'm just going to go ahead and show you guys now that this is the standard 100%, this is the 98%. I actually kind of noticed it just a little bit, but I don't think you guys will worry about it too much. It's still an excellent shotgun, and in my opinion, this is the best Tac-19 variant in Advanced Warfare, even better than the next one that we're going to look at, which is the Roundhouse. Now, the Roundhouse is a pretty good variant as well. Not as good as the uppercut, but it's still an excellent shotgun. The Roundhouse has a minor, very, very minor rate of fire increase from 89 RPM to 91 RPM. Again, it seems minor. You don't notice the rate of fire on the Tac-19 variants, but it is there. It is a thing, and you're able to get the shotgun in action more and fire faster. It's minor, but it's a thing, and it is there. And here's the 89 RPM of the standard Tac-19. And here is the Roundhouse on 91 RPM. I don't think many people will notice this, but you do have to admit that you can spam a bit more with the Roundhouse. It's very minor because it's only like a 10% increase just by 2 RPM, but especially since this is a semi-automatic. It's not even semi-automatic, it's pump action, so you have to go through the pumping animation and you can't skip it, and that's obviously that drawback of the weapon. And speaking of another buff we got going on, is that the one-shot kill range, maximum one-shot kill range, effective range, increased, not decreased this time. It's actually increased by 15%. Obviously that's a very good thing, because that means more one-shot kills. So there you go. It's not as effective. Like, the damage increase is obviously going to get you more one-shot kills than a range increase will, but the range increase is still very effective, and do keep it in mind that that is a very good thing to have on the Tac-19, is more range, because, well, the effective one-shot kill range is 15 meters, but adding even more range is going to make you even better with the shotgun. There are 2 drawbacks though. The movement speed is decreased by 2% from 100% to 98%. I don't think you'll notice this. I noticed it just a little bit, but I don't think you guys will be hurt that bad by it, but I kind of noticing it a little bit. But the sprint out time is also decreased from 150 millisecond, or increased from 150 milliseconds to 165. Here's the sprint out time for this shotgun. And here's the sprint out time for the roundhouse. And you may not notice it, but I was able to find just a minor difference there, but sprint out time changes are kind of minor in this game, so just keep it in mind. And then the last variant we're looking at is the Haymaker, and the Haymaker, I don't know. The Haymaker, first of all, has a built-in red dot sight. You'll be able to see that there. Kind of useless on a shotgun. I wouldn't really say that it's a good thing to have on a shotgun, but whatever, it's a free attachment. And because of that attachment, there's only two things going on with this weapon. One really bad thing, though, which is why you're going to want a laser sight, is that this thing has a 10% wider hipfire spread. Obviously, that's going to mean less one-shot kill areas, less likely chance of getting one-shot kills if you're hip firing. And I think it's a wider pellet spread overall, and I think the laser sight will fix this problem, because the laser sight increases it more than 10%. So that's good, or if you want to get technical, it's decreasing the hipfire spread, but you know what I mean, like increasing the hipfire accuracy by more than 10%. So that's obviously what you want for this shotgun, and not the increase in the pellet spread. But it's statistically identical to the bang stick, with the exception of the fact that the bang stick doesn't have a red dot attachment or anything like that. But like the roundhouse, it does have a rate of fire increase from 89 RPM to 91 RPM. Here's the standard 89. And here is the 91 RPM. I don't know if you guys noticed this, but I'm actually noticing that the shotgun moves faster with the rate of fire increase. Tell me rewind and tell me if that's what you notice. Hold on, I'll do that at the same time. I don't think so, but I'll do them at the same time to see if one goes first. Okay, it's just a delay. It's just a delay problem. So overall, you won't notice it that much, but just keep in mind that if you miss a shot, if you don't get one shot on the first try, you're able to pull the trigger faster and get the second shot on board. And overall, I think that these are good Tac-19 variants, but some of them are pretty bad. But the rating is obviously going to be uppercut at number 1. Roundhouse at number 2, Haymaker at number 3, and Jab at number 4. I think the Jab is the worst Tac-19, unlike the uppercut, which is the best Tac-19. And you'll see that the red dot is locked on there, which blocks all the other optics of this weapon. And just in case you guys missed, the Jab is -1 range, +1 handling, +1 mobility, and -1 magazine size. The uppercut is +1 damage, +1 accuracy, -1 range, -1 mobility. The roundhouse is +1 fire rate, +1 range, -1 handling, -1 mobility, and the Haymaker is a free red dot sight for -1 accuracy and +1 fire rate. That's all for this episode, and see you guys next time, which we're going to cover the XMGs, and that's not going to be the last episode, because I still have some the HBR variant to get, I still have an IMR variant to get, I still have a Lynx variant to get, and it's not going to be at the end yet. So I'll see you guys next time for episode 27.